Positive thinking is a mindset where you choose to focus on the goods in situation, to expect favorable outcomes, and to approach challenges with optimism. It doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending that everything is good, but rather choosing to see opportunities, solutions, even lessons when things are getting hard in difficult moments.
Subscribe to my channel.
Positive thinking is important because your thoughts will determine how your life unfolds. You see, our thoughts feed our emotional body, and our emotional body influences our actions, and with our actions, we create our reality. If you have a positive perspective on something, you will feel enthusiastic and might be more motivated to take actions toward the things that make you happy. On the other hand, if you keep thinking about or dreading something that frustrates you, you might feel depressed and more inclined to binge watch Netflix or drink alcohol to seek satisfaction in order to counterbalance the negative emotional impact on your frustration. This is how your thoughts can create your reality. Now, the first thing that feeds your thoughts is life. When life happens to us, we tend to tell ourselves a story around what happened. And that story, which is essentially our thoughts, shapes our emotional state. And that emotional state become our reality, just as we've seen before. In that case, you can either change the story that you tell yourself to create another mix of emotions, or keep the ones you are experiencing and let them flow without fear and resistance, simply accepting them as they come. Once the emotional charge fades, you can shift toward more positive thoughts or a new perspective. We are not here to define what is normal and what is not. You do you. Believe and do what feels right for you. The stories you tell yourself are yours to own, and it's up to you to decide which one you want to keep and the ones you want to rewrite. So, accepting our feelings as they come without resistance is a form of positive thinking. Okay, internal conflict. Accepting our feelings without resistance and allowing them to flow is extremely important, because life is not the only thing that influences our thoughts. The problem with many education systems and upbringings is that they don't teach us how to process emotions in a healthy manner. Instead, we are encouraged to push them aside, to ignore them, or repress them when they start to become uncomfortable. So emotions are not given the space to exist, to be seen, or to play a role in our decision making. Rather than addressing them, we shut them down. And the problem is that no matter how hard we try to repress them or hide them, our emotions don't just disappear. They stay buried deep in the shadows, creating internal conflict in our feelings, our body, even our mind. And from the shadows, they fuel our thoughts with fear, dread, frustration, and endless loops, sending all kinds of signals, emotions, and thoughts that make their presence known to be addressed in all kinds of situations, like triggers. This is how repressed emotions end up controlling your life, pulling the strings from the shadows without you even realizing it. And simply trying to counteract them with positive thinking, I meant positive affirmations, is completely pointless. It only creates more internal conflict between what you're actually feeling and what you're forcing yourself to believe. In this case, your thought loops are there to remind you of the repressed emotions that need to be addressed. Here too, positive thinking isn't just about forcing a new perspective. It's about allowing your emotions to flow without resistance. It's about using shadow work to understand that leaving emotional mechanism within you and working to heal or transform the root causes, dreading
and dwelling.
Consistently focusing on aspects of your life that make you unhappy or the things that you don't have, essentially a lack mentality, is just pointless dreading
and dwelling.
This kind of rumination, which is also a kind of thought looping, is what creates suffering in your life. By pouring all your energy into what makes you miserable, you keep it alive. You emphasize it by feeding it with even more thoughts. So you end up feeling more and more miserable over time. And this is where the positive thinking that you keep hearing about comes into play, where you need to consciously shift your thoughts towards something more uplifting that brings you joy, and focus more on what is working for you and feels good in your life. When you realize that dreading
and dwelling
won't change anything and will not bring you what you want, what you truly want, you see how pointless it is. That's when you start to understand the power and the necessity to shift your focus toward something more pleasant and fulfilling. Seriously, what's the point of relentlessly thinking about something that makes you miserable and won't change anything when you have the option to focus on something else, something that feels good, something that pleases you? Why would you do that? Think about it. Why not replace dreading with dreaming? They are both pointless in a way, but at least dreaming feels good. And who knows, it might just come true. By thinking about it, by allowing your mind to drift outside of your perceived reality, it might start finding ways to get to your dreams. Who knows? Just saying. So remember, true positive thinking isn't about ignoring emotions and situations or simply repeating affirmations. It's about embracing any kind of situations with all the emotions that come with it, while gently guiding your mind toward thoughts that uplift and empower you. Happy healing.